This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
This is the Roger Stone Show, presented by Colonial Metals Group.
A man who's gone through hell, but he's kept going, and he's smart, and he's strong, and people love him. Not everybody, but people love him and respect him. Roger Stone.
Now, here's Roger Stone.
And we're back, folks. It's the Roger Stone Show on the Red Apple Audio Network. Now would be a great time for you to go to the App Store and download the Red Apple app to your phone so you don't miss any of the great entertainment or talk that we bring you through the Red Apple Audio Network. Joining me now is the editor-in-chief of Slingshot.News, one of the fastest-growing alternative media sources in the country. And, well, we talk politics here, and there's a lot to talk about. This hurricane, I think, has enormous political implications. First, you have the fact, as we have discussed, that the wipeout of 29 counties in the western part of North Carolina, a swing state that now becomes more and more crucial to Kamala Harris, because I think she's going to lose Pennsylvania and Michigan. There's no way she can win without trying to pull off a victory in North Carolina. I'm not sure how voting in those counties gets back online. But Troy Smith joins us now. Troy, you pointed out that Joe Biden was asked about the hurricane. Let's take a listen to that.
What do the states of the storm zone need, Mr. President?
Okay.
What do the states of the storm zone, what do they need after what you saw today?
Oh, in the storm zone?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about. They're getting everything they need. And they're very happy across the board.
I don't know about you, Troy, but that's not what I'm hearing. What do you think?
Well, Roger, on the ground, it's very simple. First off, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show, and congratulations to you on the expansion of the syndication of the show here. I'm so proud of what you're doing and the great interviews and whatnot. But it's very simple what's going on here, and that is the people on the ground are not getting any of the help that they need. And there's a big problem here because a lot of these counties are going to play a huge role in this coming election. And as we reviewed on our daily podcast this week, a majority of these counties are, in fact, crimson red Republican counties. And it just so happens that a lot of these counties that were going to play a huge role in North Carolina, a state where the Democrats have focused a lot of their attention in this upcoming election, they're not getting the help they deserve. And I just want to ask you, Roger, the political implications of this, because as you've documented time and time again, there seems to be some tension between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris since Joe Biden was really unscrupulously removed from his position as president of the United States, rerunning here in 2024, and they've able to pull a bloodless coup to remove him. So I want to ask you, what's going on here? Is Biden intentionally withholding aid here? Is he just doing what Kamala asked him? What's going on in your opinion?
It's not really clear. I mean, first of all, you have the question of the impact in the actual states of North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and Florida, where the hurricane did the most damage. Virginia, very much in contention. It's interesting, 100,000 more voters voted in 2021 when Glenn Youngkin was elected governor as a Republican than voted in the 2020 presidential race. And if those veterans come out and vote, I think there is a trend in the state now towards President Trump. But I'm also concerned, as I say, about those 29 counties, the western part of the state, where I don't see how voting can come back online. They can't receive mail-in ballots. They have no electricity. They have no passable roads. I'm getting horrific messages from people in the area. It doesn't sound to me like they're happy across the board, as Joe Biden says. On the other hand, he didn't even seem to be aware that there was a hurricane, that there was a storm. Very, very strange. I think he resents the fact that he was removed in a bloodless coup. This is what I thought that J.D. Vance, the senator from Ohio, the vice presidential candidate for Donald Trump, I thought he was very, very good in the debate, but I really thought he kind of missed the boat in that final question when the Democrats yet again try to make January 6th an issue, and they talk about Trump being a threat to democracy. Where is the democracy in the nomination of Kamala Harris? Not a single Democrat primary or caucus voter voted for her. Joe Biden got 17 million votes in the Democrat nominating process. He got 71% of the vote overall in the primaries. The people voted for him. I'm not a fan, but his nomination is at least legitimate. She was selected in a backroom as part of a backroom deal. She was put into place by Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. And you can tell he didn't want to go. I watched him on The View. And paraphrasing, he said, I don't know, my polls looked as good as hers. I thought he could win, but, well, some of the people around me didn't think so. Yeah, I think he has some bitterness in those rare lucid moments that he has. I think we have a realignment going on in the country. There's something that's much, much bigger than Republicans versus Democrats. Liz Cheney, the daughter of war criminal Dick Cheney, he was vice president who, as you recall, Troy, lied us into war, claiming that the Iraqis had some role in the attack on America on 9/11. They had none. He also claimed that the Iraq under Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, had obtained yellow cake uranium for the development of those weapons. That was also a lie. So he lied us into a war in which hundreds of thousands of Iraqis and others lost their lives. Tens of thousands of Americans lost their lives. Liz Cheney is now endorsing Kamala Harris. Listen to this.
So we are gathered here today in Ripon, not far, as the Congresswoman mentioned, from a small building where the Republican Party was born in 1854. Liz Cheney stands in the finest tradition of its leaders. And if people across Wisconsin and our nation are willing to do what Liz is doing, to stand up for the rule of law, for our democratic ideals, and the Constitution of the United States, then together I know we can chart a new way forward, not as members of any one party, but as Americans. Americans who are united in our devotion to the country we love. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you all. Thank you.
So I still don't understand the strategic thinking here. The Cheneys, the McCains, the Kinzingers, these people are not popular. They're not even popular anymore within the Republican Party. Republicans and independents now realize that we got lied into war by these folks. But in the meantime, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And Tulsi Gabbard, the former 4-term congressman from Hawaii who served as a Democrat, today she's an independent, has written an amazing book about her the Odyssey and her journey. I think this is a great trade-off, in all honesty. It's fine with me if all the warmongers and those who favor World War III want to get together. That seems to be happening. Let's listen to RFK, who I think is a much important and, frankly, more powerful messenger than Liz Cheney at this moment in history.
Mic check. 1, 2. Are we recording? Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, an award-winning chef, restaurateur, and mom. I have a lot on my plate, including my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. That's why I was prescribed Cosentyx. It helps me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump.
They went after a guy named Roger Stone, who's sitting in the office. And I'll say this in front of Roger, he's no baby. And right now, he's cleaner than anybody in this place. No, they treated him very unfairly.
All of these presidents relied on one man to secure their seat in the Oval Office. That man is Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
This is the Roger Stone Show, presented by Colonial Metals Group. Now, here's Roger Stone.
Welcome back, folks. This is the Roger Stone Show, and I'm still here with Troy Smith, the editor-in-chief of Slingshot.news. I urge you to check out their great news outlet. Costs nothing to subscribe. And you will learn a lot of things you won't hear or see in the mainstream media. Troy, Bruce Springsteen, sometimes called the boss by his fans, I'm not particularly a fan, but that's just me, has now endorsed Kamala Harris. Let's hear what the boss had to say.
Hi, I'm Bruce Springsteen. Friends, fans, and the press have asked me who I'm supporting in this most important of elections. And with full knowledge that my opinions no more or less important than those of any of my fellow citizens, here's my answer. I'm supporting Kamala Harris for president and Tim Walz for vice president, and opposing Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Here's why. We are shortly coming upon one of the most consequential elections in our nation's history. Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment.
You know, Troy, I must tell you, I don't think that these celebrity endorsements do much. There was actually a great YouGov poll after the endorsement by Kamala Harris of Taylor Swift, and it showed that 66% of voters said it made no difference to them whatsoever. And then by a narrow margin, those who said they were less inclined to vote for Kamala outnumbered those who said they were more inclined to vote for Kamala Harris. What's your take on it?
Well, Roger, you know, it's a fact that the Hollywood apparatus has been bleeding viewership and support for basically the last 30 years. And it's been an interesting phenomenon. As we've seen the Hollywood actors and directors and the music stars and these pop culture individuals kind of venture into politics, we've seen them become less appealing and less successful in their own industry. And not only that, but we saw, like in 2016, even though Hillary Clinton out-fundraised Donald Trump, had people like Beyonce and Jay-Z doing concerts for her, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't make Hillary Clinton president. And we found out just then that the influence of these people doesn't really mean that much. And I think you're right, and you're onto something there by claiming that this might actually have a negative, the reverse effect for most people, because right now, Roger, the average American is struggling to pay their rent. They're struggling to pay their mortgage. They're struggling to pay for their grocery bill. And when they turn on the television, the last thing they want to hear is somebody with a private pool and a $20 million home telling them who they have to vote for, especially when they are struggling. These people don't know what struggling is. They are desperately out of touch with the American people. And as they continue down the road of insanity, Roger, I think they're only hurting themselves in their own industry.
It's very interesting. One of the other stories out there that I still think could potentially have some impact on this presidential race is the continuing federal prosecution of rap mogul and performer P. Diddy. Now, we're told by federal prosecutors that there will be many, many, many more indictments in connection with Diddy's activities, and that we can expect names. We never got names in the Epstein case, so I'm not sure if I believe that or not. But very recently, a tie between Kamala Harris and P. Diddy discovered. Let's listen to that.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be with you this evening. Sean, I want to thank you because you always have a way of convening and bringing folks together.
Look, I'm not big on guilt by association. The left has tried to sometimes use it on me, so the fact that they know each other doesn't prove anything, but it's interesting. I'll tell you what is more troubling to me, and that is Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, who is a short-tempered, foul-mouthed, entitled kleptocrat who can't seem to get over the fact that she's never, ever going to be president, but she's now openly suggesting some kind of October surprise, and she seems to say it with glee. Let's listen to Hillary Clinton.
I anticipate that, something will happen in October, as it always does. The Russians, as I said earlier, are very active in this election. We know the Iranians are active as well.
Yeah, actually, we don't know that the Russians are active in this election. They didn't prove that in 2016. In fact, they turned up no evidence of it whatsoever, all of their claims. Manafort was sharing secret polling with a Russian asset. No, he wasn't. The man he shared public information with was, in fact, a U.S. asset. No, I was not dealing with a Guccifer 2.0 to receive or pass on purloined WikiLeaks material. All of the fictions of the Mueller investigation now essentially disproved. Yet yesterday, or the day before, and the day before, be very hard to miss former Mueller prosecutor Andrew Weissman, who looked like he was about to have an orgasm over this new filing by Jack Smith, saying, we got him, yet again, we got him. I don't think so. All right, I'm afraid we have to wrap it up there. I'm Roger Stone. This has been the Roger Stone Show here on the Red Apple Audio Network. I want to thank my guest, Troy Smith, the editor-in-chief of Slingshot.News. And until next time, God bless you and Godspeed.